come up with Floyd to take wickets. So it's a tough ask out there considering good batting conditions.
Well, that's really slowed up off the surface. A level of excitement, but in the end it was nowhere near any of the catches around the bat. He was looking for two runs again. Not happy with his partner.
They're
Animated out there for sure, but he's lucky that edge didn't go straight to hand. Eventually landed in the vacant area. Two there, Hazy. Come.
He certainly thought so, that's for sure. As Ali, he definitely wanted to. But not the man on 142 not out, who's just settling over his bat now. $282 for one. Australia would dearly like to break this stand before the lunch break. That'll be their plan now. So there's time for a little bit of a burst from Mitchell Starc. 35 minutes to go. Starc, no doubt, is going to be feeling fairly fresh. Didn't do a great deal of work yesterday. Just a standard day, I suppose. But certainly not overstretched with the number of overs that he bowled. And he'll be trying to get a little bit of reverse. I have been working on that ball over the last 20 minutes or so. Come on, Starc. Destroy the middle stump.
What if there is a man who can do it? He's right there on your screen at the moment. What about the big please at the bottom of it? Look like a Pakistani supporter.
I'm surprised that wasn't an Australian supporter, really, with passed away, and no doubt there was a lot of emotion there, but he had a wonderful summer during the Ashes, back to his best, bowled fast. He didn't swing the ball a huge amount, but his control was magnificent throughout that series. He built up a lot of pressure, so this will be a big spell for him here to try and get an opening and then potentially get into Babar Azam.
Yeah, a little challenge here for Azhar Ali. So a couple of things to look for here. Of course, the ball will be slanting across the right-hander. We have seen one or two deliveries just climb a little bit. Azhar Ali will definitely get the odd short delivery. Mitchell Starc is a tall man, somewhere about 6'4". Maybe perhaps a little bit taller than that even. But he will look to get some bounce, got a nice high action. So he will test Azhar Ali with some quick short deliveries. Straight away, just the warm-up board, 137 k's per hour. Anything over the 140 k per hour, 145 is seriously quick. It's nicely bowled.
And I think the thing that often gets forgotten about Mitchell Starc is that he prioritises playing for Australia over going to the IPL and places like that. In the last probably 5 years or so, he could easily have gone and participated in the IPL where he would have made huge money and been in big demand, but he's prioritised time with his wife, Alyssa Healy. He plays women's cricket for Australia and playing a lot of Test cricket for Australia in the next 12 months or so, and he's really making that his priority. Obviously the World Cup later in the year as well, T20 World Cup in Australia.
That's the other thing to look for also. Of course, when you're bowling at this sort of pace, the odd one might just keep a little bit low, which is something that Azhar Ali's got to make sure that he counters. Nicely bowled, trying to sneak that under the bat, a little bit fuller. This will be an over generally of just starting to feel a little bit comfortable with the run-up and getting his speed. He was blowing a bit yesterday, I noticed, when he was late in the day when he bowled a couple of overs.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because I think the Australians had limited preparation. I mentioned it yesterday. I just wonder whether at the end of this series, depending on how it plays out, whether they'll look back on how they prepared and whether there could have been any changes to that. It's always difficult in the modern game with the volume of cricket that gets played and the schedule, but just wonder whether that might have an impact.
Nicely bowled, nicely steered down the line at third man. They're not the only team, I don't think, Cat either, that'll look at that. I mean, South Africa, of course, when they went to New Zealand, and yes, they had the isolation that they had to go through upon arriving in New Zealand, but they played terribly in the first Test match and bounced back superbly in the second. Look at England, of course, in the Ashes. Didn't play any warm-up games. Yes, they were hampered by some bad weather as well. But it's something that seems to have fallen by the wayside, these warm-up games, and surely when you come to places where you're not familiar with the conditions, you just have to do it. It's the end of Stark's first over back. 284 for 1.
Jump over to another cover.
Well, it's about this time when you start just trying to find something to talk about around the bat. Might be films, might be anything, might be which box set you're watching. Try and keep going. Oh, here we go. There's a big noise on that time. Went for the cut as it went through to the keeper's gloves. That's the first bit of excitement the Australians have had for a long time. There was definitely a big noise there, but then there was no interest.
The two noises, isn't it? Wicketkeeper wasn't sure.
It was like one of those moments. We just come in, we sit down in the chair, and you sort of straight away you think, here we go. You're right, there was a big sound.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it sounded like two noises. Maybe the Ultra is showing something there.
And that's the problem, isn't it? It's like when you're fielding in the slips and nothing's coming for ages, and you start switching off a little bit. Then something happens and you're like, oh, what? And before you know it, you've missed your opportunity. I mean, Cummins was unmoved. Hardly anyone, no one had that much interest.
Well, I guess it was just that action, yeah, and as you said, it woke up a few people, perhaps. Have a closer look at this.
Yeah, if you notice that the bat also hit the ground, there was this very little sound. We could hear it in our ears, and then the ball bat sort of going down and hitting the turf.
Yeah, Alex Carey didn't look too convinced, did he? It was just the finest little sound.
Yeah, disappointment. There's an opportunity there. They didn't take the review.
The other thing as well, that's a good shot. Get onto the back foot, top of the bounce, big gap. He's had a lot of work, this Nathan Lyon, but that's a full-on drag down that has been put away easily.
Well, this can happen because he's still in the disappointment of not taking the review, and then you really forget the process, and that was well short. And Imam just dropped back and just punched it through that mid-wicket region. There's the fourth boundary of the morning. It's been slow going for Pakistan. The run rate has dropped a little bit. They must sort of start pushing now.
Love those shots. I think if you get on the back foot against a spinner, you've got to go and do that and put it away. And that is 150 for Imam Ul Haq. And he is not done yet. 293 for one.
Another milestone, another achievement, making his comeback, and he's making the most of it. Look very compact, very organized, and he has put the bad balls away. Very patient at times when things are tough. This morning, once again,
what people heard, missed opportunity, didn't review. And then let's see what people would have heard and seen at home. It's quite a big sound as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the bottom of the bat, and then when he just played a cut shot and the bat coming down, hitting the turf also. So there were definite two sounds.
Trying to take the pitch out of the equation.
Yeah, searching for the Yorker. But a real speed. We saw that it's not even that little noise, but also the bat on the ground. There was that sort of combination of noise. And that was the confusion for the Australians, which is why they didn't review.
Yeah, Smith was stunned. It was Carey who was not convinced, and he just went straight to the bowler and he said, "Nah, I don't think he hit it." But Smith was just surprised that they didn't take the review.
You like that line, Waqar? That's a better line for you?
Just keep it there for a little while. Wonderful moment for young Imam Ul Haq. Long wait comes to an end.
Oh, good ball.
Yeah. Just as Waqar mentioned, the right line. I think the key right now, because the ball does look like it's got a little bit of movement, just moving quite across the face there. Forced to play it. Obviously, the line was the stump, so dragged in the shot. But just get the ball through to Alex Keeper. Get the ball through to the keeper's gloves. and just build up the pressure that way with that angle, which is going to work for him. And if the ball's taken away, you're asking the batsman the question is, you can have a go at it. Good luck.
Those lengths and lines and bowl long spells. Yes, he will bowl long spells, but he's such an... I can understand bowling a holding job and that's for the others, I think. For Stark, I feel, yes, go across, but come with the pace and venom and just try to get the wicket. He's got 2 slips in, which I think is a right way to go.
294 for 1. Pat Cummins didn't move the field at all, really. Steve Smith, as soon as that line looked like it was going to work, and that line that you boys were talking about, straight away Steve Smith changed the field. So a lot of the time Steve Smith is the one actually who is able to just say, right, okay, you come over here, and he's almost doing that job as a captain. And that was absolutely right, because that line that you guys were saying across the batsman, that's the line that he wanted to bowl. So then you could take out your mid-wicket, which is exactly what happened, and you take your mid-wicket out and you put him in as an extra catcher. But Pat Cummins had no real view on that. It was all down to Steve Smith, who just said, you just saw him, you over here, man in, and he did all the changes.
Pretty handy resource for the new captain. Have the former Australian captain Steve Smith to just for his insight, for his opinion. He's been around, a very experienced player, one of the world's best. So yeah, sort of it's worked really well. Worked well in the Ashes series, of course. And quite often the teams that are doing well just manage to look after themselves. But even now, we're sort of looking at the field, the changes. Hazelwood on, maybe the ball is, we're sort of seeing it from here, long way out. There is just offering a little bit of, reverse swing. It's a bit of excitement happening. The ball's got a little bit of movement suddenly, and a couple of bowling changes and field changes.
Right, so you look at this and you try and work out what's coming. This has got to be straight at what? Middle stump, the odd short ball. But I like that from Cummins. You see, I always think, we were talking about this off air, the poor leaders, they don't want someone moving the field for them. They're worried about what someone else does as we go through the Sensodyne sensitivity-free moment. The poor leaders, actually, they're worried about that. They don't want someone to do what Steve Smith. If you have one of these captains who saw Smith move the field and they go, hey, hang up, I'm the captain here, don't you be moving the field. Well, you get rid of the captain because that bloke's an idiot. Cummins, though, actually, he's using that resource. That's what the good leaders do. I think Cummins, actually, the more you see and hear from him, the more impressive he is.
Seems a very level-headed guy. In his interviews, when you hear him, he's very calm and he's got plans. And of course, the support and the help, whatever he gets on the field from Smith, he'll take that. He knows that there's so much experience in Smith he's got in the slips. So whatever he's going to say is going to really help the team, help him grow also. Because it takes time when you're a captain. It doesn't come overnight. It takes a long time. And I think when you have somebody like Smith on the field, Warner in the field, and if they can help you grow into this role, I think nothing like it.
This is the thing, I mean, we all would have played. I mean, none of us would have enjoyed playing under a dictator, someone who's treating you like a school kid, just telling you what to do all the time.
No, and I guess there were some quarters, and all of a sudden we've got a fast bowler captaining the Australian Test team. Granted, it came from other batsmen, but there was also the fact that, the bowlers, the myth that bowlers don't make good captains. Waqar, you've captained Pakistan.
Yeah, I captained Pakistan at a very young age. It came accidentally to me. I'll tell you a story in a minute. How that happened.
Good run. Right. Record as captain. Let's see if we can.
Don't worry about my record. I'll tell you. Look, in the 90s, early 90s, at a very young age, we were performing. And those days, the team broke his hand. And then the captaincy came to me as we got back here in Pakistan. Zimbabwe was here. And that's when I captained Pakistan for the first time. It was very brief, for a very little time, only for one test match. But it was only the test match we played in Karachi. End of the over, 296 for 1. Yeah, to finish my story, 296 for 1. Pakistani batters are still out there. So I captained like a big side, big names, Javed Miandal, Salim Malik, Ramiz Raja, the chairman now. And they were all there, Basit Ali and Zamam ul Haq, and I was very young. And such a big side, to lead that side, I was very enthusiastic, wanted to perform myself. Yes, we won that first test match, and then we played the second test match here, and Wasim came back with a plaster in his hand, and he played that test match. Don't want to be mean to him, though. Yeah, that's good bowling. That's really good bowling. That's what they need to do. Just keep it there for a couple of overs. The ball is swinging a little bit, definite reverse. The shiny side was on the left of your screen, so that means the ball is going to go with the shine. And that was the only time I captained in test match, and then I had to wait for a long time that it came back to me. That was, I don't know when it came back to me. I think it was back in the 2000. Azim will tell me. 2002 and 2003, right at the end of my career. Enjoyed it, enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, I know the hype around the fast bowler can't be the captain. It's not real.
Come on.
Exactly. And I know that we've got Rob Key who did captain Kent. Of course, in our first class cricket in Australia, Queensland, I captained 3 matches, 2 wins, 1 draw. And the one thing...
That's not a bad record. 10 win out of 17.
That's
very good.
That's outstanding, Waka. You're talking yourself down there. Got a few wickets as well. 67 wickets. Certainly got a chance to bowl to the tail, I'm sure.
So hang up. So far, what I reckon then. So Waka, with that record, you can say that you were a good captain as a bowler. And then you've got who else? Pat Cummins. That's 2. You're saying it's not true. There's 2 out of the whole, the world of cricket since cricket began.
You've got to start somewhere, haven't you?
2 good captains you've got.
Well, Willis?
What?
That was he.
Imran Khan won the World Cup.
He was an all-rounder.
They won the World Cup.
They're all-rounders.
Come on. 400 wickets, test wickets.
Yeah, but they're great batsmen and great bowlers.
It's a long debate. We're not going to agree with that, that's for sure. Beautiful delivery. Now we're talking. That's a bit more like Starkey, the old Starkey, just hitting the deck hard and going across the batsman.
Yeah, the action got that little bit of a slingy there, but there is movement. And there's nothing more exciting as a bowler when you're getting some movement, whether it be off the pitch or certainly in the air. Nearly 300 runs up for Pakistan, but you just got a sense here the Australians are just lifting. Exciting. Feel like something's going to happen.
Well, you can just see how he set the shiny side is on the left of screen at the moment. You've got to try and see now, don't you? Try and work out which way it's going to go.
Yeah, he's hiding the ball also, so that's why what's happening with Azhar is he's poking at the ball. He's not sure which way the ball is going to go, because Stark is so good when it comes to reverse, and he can just sort of bring the ball back into the right-hander also.
Good line. Right, next one. You can see here, so you see how he's setting the ball. Now, you're not going to see that, obviously, if you're the batsman. Let's see if we can stay on him when he gets to the top of his mark. And I want to see if you can pick what's coming down, Waqar.
Look, it is very difficult. I did it all my life. I know batsmen struggle. When you hold it in one hand and keep your bowling hand sort of empty, and show the batsman that I'm gonna hold the ball the last second so I can change the shiny side. And it is very confusing, very difficult. 296 for one. We'll just come back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You always, as a batsman from the other end, you're trying to pick up clues, and there'll be a point where you can see. And sometimes they have the view that the non-striker can try and tell you by what hand he holds the bat in, stuff like that. But it is very tough. But you got to play for one at the moment. The thing is with Mitchell Starc, as a right-hander, it doesn't look like, and you'll know better about this, he can bring the ball back like this, so he can reverse swing it the other way. Swinging it back into Azhar Ali or not?
I think the best option for him is to go around the wicket, and from there, if he can take the ball away from the right-hander, just a tiny bit, you don't need a big swing, and then bring the ball with the angle, and that's where the difficulty is going for the batsman.
That's going to be leg byes, I think. 300 is now up and still only one wicket down.
Just bounced at the wrong time. It was not the best of the deliveries, but for Carey, it just bounced as he dived, went over a hand. Hazelwood is also trying to do the same, just trying to hold the ball in the left hand. Well, the Tapal Lounge fans predicting the score. There we go. There they are. They're going to be predicting the score soon. Not going to be that difficult, is it?
I don't know. What does it start with? A 7, 6? I'd like to know if there's any seats in the lounge there, in the Tapal Tea Lounge, if you can actually just got to stand there and try and predict the score.
Well, during the PSL, this lounge was very busy. There were a lot of people there. They were predicting score. They were giving their comments. They had this, small billboards in their hands, which was good. And having their nice cup of tea. It was cold then. Now it's getting a little warmer. Not sure if they're going to enjoy the tea right now. Maybe green tea.
No.
I think it's very important for Hazelwood to do the holding job. Don't, we were just talking about, Cash, that, how important it is to bowl in tandem. When one bowler is bowling certain way, the other's got to you're talking about.
That's right.
Yeah, he comes from the same region where I come from, played for the same club also. Unfortunately, had a stress fracture in his back and couldn't really play much. He picked up 11 wickets on this very ground in his debut game against New Zealand. And he went to Australia also, and Brian Lara really talked very highly of him. He was amazing. It's just that unfortunate that he couldn't really carry on He had a very tough kind of action, open-chested, very wiry kind of a guy, very slim, and he used to put so much pressure on his back that once it broke, and he never could, come back, or was never the same again. And Pakistan did lose a very fine fast bowler at the time. But yeah, we had so many of them. I mean, they had bits and pieces, their role to play, but not for too long.
Just wondering what the high-performance bowling workloads were like from the science side of things in Pakistan.
What workload? What are you talking about? There was no workload. We never had all these data-based and technologies and all that. We used to just run in and bowl fast.
Yeah, there's been, I suppose, over time around the world, a lot of science involved. 302 for one.
I think that's lunch. Yep, 25 overs been bowled in this session, and Pakistan very comfortable. They're happy with the progress. 57 runs scored in this. A little slow for my liking, but I'm sure the dressing room will be very happy. 2.28 run rate. Good bowling by Australians. They stuck to the task. They came with the plans. Different bowlers bowling with different strategies at different times, and they kept things in. I still feel that the fight the Australians are putting out there is great to see.
Yeah, they've kept on coming. It has not been easy for these Australian seamers in particular. Stark bowled a good spell of bowling there. Just a hint of reverse swing, which just looked like it might create the odd opportunity. Well, it's a time that you find out about your captains on surfaces like this. Anyway, down to Nerily.
On the board personally at lunch. How's this lunch break going to go for you?
Yeah, it will be some butterflies in the tummy. All the bowlers, the fast bowlers especially, they bent in the back and bowled some really quick deliveries. But I think the last spell the ball was reversing, and the way Stark bowls the reversing, we all know, and we have to respect that.
And the beautiful partnership that you're putting together with Imam Ul Haq as well. At what point do the pair of you put the foot down and really get this going?
Yeah, I think so. We'll see in the lunch. We'll talk to the team management how we're going to go about next session. Obviously, this morning we absorbed the pressure, and hopefully we can build on that.
Really appreciate your time. All the best after lunch.
Thank you so much.
I tell you what, that's a pretty good effort. Azhar Ali, 95, and he gives us a quick flash interview. So we're going to lunch, and he'll be thinking about getting that 100. Australia, a team he likes to play against. He's got a double 100 against them. Imam Ul Haq, he just continues along on his merry way. 154 from 343 balls. He's not relenting.
Yeah, Imam once again carried his form. He looked extremely good, looked very compact, and is still out there, still really searching for that double, that big number. And this is what the highest score by Pakistani openers, Taslim Arif up there. I still remember that 1980. I was little then. 210 at Faisalabad. It was a difficult pitch to bowl on. Azhar Ali 205 in Melbourne, that was good. Khalid Badullah before my time, or long before my time. Imam Ul Haq now, he's just climbing up nicely.
The bowling figures. Stark showed real promise there with the ball starting to just reverse. Some opportunities opening up. Hazelwood again, just relentless with that line. Nathan Lyon, 37 overs, 1 for 106. Got himself the sidecar there. Pat Cummins, also the captain, who started today with some fire. No wicket for 48 from his 20 overs. And that's lunch on day 2 here in Rawalpindi. Looking forward to coming back just after the break.
about to get underway for the second session on day 2. Now, a very strong position, of course, for Pakistan at this stage. And this is the first of 3 test matches coming to you live from the Pindi Cricket Stadium in Rawalpindi. Well, the track has been a very good one for batting. And after Pakistan won the toss and elected to do that, they have batted extremely well. 302 for the loss of just the 1 wicket. Imam ul Haq not out 154 and Azhar Ali not out 95 at this stage. A partnership of 197 also between those 2 guys. 1 wicket going down, that of Abdullah Shafiq for 44. Some time ago, looking to go downtown. Sliced across it, hit it high in the ground, in the air rather, and Cummins came around nicely and took a good catch. Well judged. Very high indeed, but Cummins had enough time to get underneath it, and 2-hand going at just over the 2.5 mark basically. Cummins has done a bit of work, 20 overs, and also Stark and Hazelwood also have notched up the 20, and the rest of the overs have been shared, but it's been pretty good work and opportunity. When Haq was on 146 as the first ball after that, that's for sure. Hello, Baz.
Hi, Hayes. Hi, Aruj. All eyes now on Azhar Ali because of the fact that the milestone is in sight, but he just keeps on batting in his own way, own zone, his own rhythm. And that's good to see. Imam did the same when he got to the 100. Azhar Ali, before the break, was batting exactly like he had done throughout the innings.
Everyone watching. We had a similar situation yesterday as well with Imam taking a longish time to get to that maiden century. It was a good one though. 39. The partnership though, 198. It's taken his time out of 490 deliveries. But he'll be eyeing that big ton, Azhar Ali.
And further now, but still in a very strong position. Labuschagne at short leg. Sure, that's the line he's going to be looking to bowl. Those of you who joined us yesterday when Nathan Lyon started to bowl, he got considerable turn, but it's just dropped down a little bit as the track's got a little bit harder and a bit drier. 303 for 1. One thing the Australians tried to get going earlier today was that reverse swing. We haven't seen a great deal of it. There hasn't been anything significant. So it's something that they haven't managed to get going to the extent where it's influenced anything at the moment. But they'll still be trying because this ball was looking pretty scrappy after 22 overs. And they're suddenly starting to manage the short delivery. 2 men back, just the 1.
As commentators, we always look forward, unlike the players who stay in the moment. So 69 overs remaining. If they go at this current rate, they'll get to about 480 at the end of the day's play. I think Pakistan will be eyeing slightly more than that. Probably looking at a declaration, maybe just 6 overs, 7 overs before the end. For that to happen, then they'll have to shift gears. Yes, you're looking at Azhar Ali wanting to get to the 100, just bide his time there, but after that there'll have to be a considerable shift in the intensity that they've shown with the bat. So if you're saying more than that, then you're saying they have to go at 3.5, maybe 4 and over to get to that
18 when he gets his next 5 runs. But then they have to really shift gears and start pressing a little bit on this game. Takes him to 96 now and also brings up the 200 stand. Outstanding work from these 2 Pakistan batsmen.
Yeah, Aruj is excellent with maths. Sheila, multiply and divide and subtract all of this. What do you think?
Subtract, extract.
But I'll take it from you. Yeah, but it's been a wonderful knock from both the gentlemen in the middle. 200, Azhar Ali, of course, eyeing his 18th ton. Yeah, from all the math that I've worked out, and I would sort of lean towards more around maybe 45 minutes around the end of day's play where Pakistan will be looking to declare, and for that, and I'm sure Azhar Ali, once he reaches
wanting to just run that off the blade, Imam Haq. But a little bit of a change in pace there from Pat Cummins alongside him. Babar Azam and Fawad as well, and Mohammed Rizwan is just having a chat to him now at the moment, looks of things. Now that one just perhaps tailed in a fraction, bit of excitement there for Pat Cummins. End of that over, 305 for 1.